Hello.
Welcome everyone. Today we will read Roald Dahl, The Enormous Crocodile. Roald Dahl, The Enormous Crocodile. The enormous crocodile is planning what to have for his lunch. This full-finned, the greediest croc in the whole river, wants to eat something juicy and delicious. His teeth sparkles like knives in the sun, and he's getting hungrier and hungrier. But what can the greedy, scrumptious brute guzzle up? Beware, he's looking for someone that looks a lot like you. Introducing the enormous crocodile. The roly-poly bird. The not so big one. Chunky. Roald Dahl, The Enormous Crocodile. In the biggest, brownest, muddiest river in Africa, two crocodiles lay with their heads just above the water. One of the crocodiles was enormous. The others were not so big. Do you know what I would like for my lunch today? The enormous crocodile asked. No, said the knobstick one. What? The enormous crocodile grinned, showing hundreds of sharp white teeth. For my lunch today, he said, I would like a nice juicy little child. I never eat children, the knobstick one said. Only fish. Ho, 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 cried the enormous crocodile. I'll bet if you saw a fat, juicy little child paddling in the water over there, at this moment, you'd glub him in one gulp. No, I wouldn't, the knobstick one said. Children are too tough and chewy. They are tough and chewy and nasty and bitter. Tough and chewy, cried the enormous crocodile. Nasty and bitter. What awful Tommy rot you talk. They are juicy and yummy. They taste so bitter, the knobstick one said. You'll have to cover them with sugar before you can eat them. Children are bigger than fish, said the enormous crocodile. You'll get bigger helpings. You are greedy, the knobstick one said. You're the greediest croc in the whole river. I'm the bravest croc in the whole river, said the enormous crocodile. I'm the only one who dares to leave the water and go to the jungle, to the town, to look for little children to eat. You've only done that once, snorted the knobstick one. And what happened then? They all saw you coming and ran away. Ah, but today, when I go, they won't see me at all, the enormous crocodile said the enormous crocodile. Of course they'll see you, said the knobstick one. You're so enormous and ugly. They'll see you from miles away. The enormous grinned again, and his terrible sharp teeth sparkled like knives in the sun. Nobody will see me, he said, because this time I thought of secret plans and clever tricks. Clever tricks? Cried the knobstick one. You've never done anything clever in your life. You're the stupidest croc in the whole river. I'm the cleverest croc in the whole river, the enormous crocodile answered. For my lunch, today I shall feast upon a fat, juicy little child while you lie here in the river feeling hungry. Goodbye. The enormous crocodile swam to the side of the river and crawled out of the water. A gigantic creature was standing on the slimy, oozy mud of the riverbank. It was Humpy Rumpy the hippopotamus. Hello, hello, said Humpy Rumpy. Where on earth are you off at this time of the day? I have secret plans and clever tricks, said the crocodile. Oh dear, said the Humpy Rumpy. I'll bet you're going to do something horrid. The enormous crocodile grinned at Humpy Rumpy and said, I'm going to fill my hungry empty tummy with something yummy, yummy, yummy. What's so yummy? Asked Humpy Rumpy. Try to guess, said the crocodile. It's something that walks on two legs. You don't mean, said Humpy Rumpy. You don't really mean you're going to eat a little child? Of course I am, said the crocodile. Oh, you horrid, greedy, scrumptious brute, cried Humpy Rumpy. I hope you get caught and cooked and turned into crocodile soup. The enormous crocodile laughed out loud at Humpy Rumpy. Then he waddled off into the jungle. In the jungle, he met Trunky, the elephant. Trunky was nibbling leaves from the top of a tall tree. He didn't notice Crocodile at first, so the crocodile bit him on the leg. Ow, said Trunky in his big, deep voice. Who did that? Oh, it's you, you beastly crocodile. Why don't you go back to the big brown muddy river where you belong? I have secret plans and clever tricks, said the crocodile. You mean nasty plans and nasty tricks, said Trunky. You've never done a nice thing in your life. The enormous crocodile grinned at Trunky and said, I'm off to find a yummy chook for lunch. Keep listening and you'll hear the bones go crunch. Oh, you wicked beastly beast, cried Trunky. Oh, you foul, filthy fiend. I hope you get squashed and squished and squizzled and boiled up into crocodile stew. The enormous crocodile laughed out loud and disappeared into the thick jungle. Further on, he met Mugglewump the monkey. Mugglewump the monkey was sitting on a tree eating nuts. Hello, Crocky, said Mugglewump. What do you have now? I have secret plans and clever tricks, said the crocodile. Would you like some nuts? Said the Mugglewump. I have better things to eat than nuts, sniffed the crocodile. I didn't think there was anything better than nuts, said Mugglewump. Aha, said the enormous crocodile. All sorts of things that I'm going to eat. Have fingers, toenails, arms, and legs and feet. Mugglewump went pale and began to shake over. Aren't you really going to gobble up a little child, aren't you? Of course I am, said the crocodile. Clothes and all. They taste better with clothes on. Oh, you horrid, hawkish croc, cried Mugglewump. You slimy creature. I hope the buttons and buckles will all stick in your throat and choke you to death. The crocodile grinned at Mugglewump and I eat monkeys too, and quick as a flash, one bite of his huge jaws, he bit through the tree that Mugglewump was sitting in, and down it came. But just in time, Mugglewump jumped to the next tree, swung away through the branches. Further on, the enormous crocodile met the roly-poly bird. The roly-poly bird was building a nest in the orange tree. Hello there, enormous crocodile, sang the roly-poly bird. We don't often see you up in the jungle. Ah, said the crocodile. I have secret plans and clever tricks. I hope it's not something nasty, said the roly-poly bird. Nasty, cried the crocodile. Of course it's not nasty. It's delicious. It's luscious, it's super. It's mushious, it's duper. It's better than rotten old fish. You mash it and you munch it. You chew it and you crunch it. It's lovely to hear the squish. It must be berries, sang the roly-poly bird. Berries are my favorite food on the world. Raspberries, perhaps, or could it be strawberries? The enormous crocodile laughed so much that his teeth rattled together like pennies in a money box. "Crocodiles don't eat berries," he said. "We eat little boys and girls, and sometimes we eat poly birds as well." Very quickly, the crocodile reached and snapped his jaws at Roly-Poly Bird. He just missed the bird, but managed to catch a hold of long, beautiful feathers. Roly-Poly Bird gave a shriek of terror and shot straight up into the air, leaving its tail of feathers behind in the enormous crocodile's mouth. At last, the enormous crocodile came out of the other side of the jungle and into the sunshine. He could see the town not far away. "Ho, ho!" he said, walking aloud to himself. "Ha, ha! That walk through the jungle had made me hungrier than ever. One chewed isn't going to be nearly enough for me today. I won't be full up until I ate at least 3 juicy little children." He started to creep forward towards town. The enormous crocodile crept over to a place where there was a lot of coconut trees. He knew that children from the town often came here looking for coconuts. The trees were too tall for them to climb, but there was always some coconuts on the ground that had fallen down. The enormous crocodile collected all the coconuts that were lying on the ground. He also gathered together 7 fallen branches. "Now for clever trick number 1, he whispered to himself. "It won't be long till I am eating the first part of my lunch." He took out all the coconut branches and held them between his teeth. He grasped the coconut in his front paws. Then he stood straight up in the air, balancing his tails on the tail. He arranged the branches and the coconuts so cleverly that now he looks exactly like a small coconut tree standing among the big coconut trees. Soon, 2 children came along. They were a brother and sister. The boy was called Toto. His sister was called Mary. They walked around looking for fallen coconuts, but they couldn't find any because the enormous crocodile gathered them all up. "Oh, look!" cried Toto. "That tree over there is much smaller than the others and is filled of coconuts. I think I could climb that one quite easily, and I can help me up the first bit." Toto and Mary ran towards what they thought was a small coconut tree. The enormous crocodile peered through the branches, watching them as they came closer and closer. He licked his lips and began to dribble with excitement. Suddenly, there was a tremendous whooshing noise. It came from Humpy Rumpy the hippopotamus. He came crashing and snorting out of the jungle. His head was low and he was galloping at a terrific speed. "Look out, Toto," shouted Humpty Rumpy. "Look out, Mary. That's not a coconut tree. It's an enormous crocodile and he wants to eat you up." Humpty Rumpy charged straight at the enormous crocodile. He caught him in the giant head and sent him tumbling and skidding over the ground. "Owie!" cried the crocodile. "Help! Stop! Where am I?" Toto and Mary ran back to the town as fast as they could. But crocodiles are tough. It's difficult for even hippopotamus to hurt them. The enormous crocodile picked himself and crept towards the place where the children's playground was. "Now for a clever trick number 2, he said to himself. "This one is certain to work." There were no children in the playground at that moment. They were all in school. The enormous crocodile found a large piece of wood and placed it in the middle of the playground. Then he lay across a piece of wood and tucked his feet so that he looks almost exactly like a seesaw. When school was over, all came running onto the playground. "Oh, look," they cried, "we've got a new seesaw." They all crowded around, shouting with excitement. "Max, I have the first go." I'll be on the other end. I want to go first. So do I. A girl who was older than the others said, "It's rather funny sort of seesaw, isn't it? Do you think it's safe to sit on?" "Of course it will," the other said. "It looks strong as anything." The enormous crocodile opened one eye, just a teeny bit, and watched the children who were crowding around him. Soon he thought, "One of them's going to sit on my head. Then I will give a jerk and a snap, and it will be yum, yum, yum." At that moment, there was a flash of brown, and something jumped onto the playground and hopped up on top of the swings. It was Mugglewump, the monkey. "Run!" Mugglewump shouted at the children. "All of you run, run, run! That's not a seesaw. That's an enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you up." The children screamed and ran for their lives. Mugglewump disappeared back into the jungle. The enormous crocodile was left alone in the playground. He cursed Monkey and waddled back into the bushes to hide. "I'm getting hungrier and hungrier," he said. "I shall have to eat at least 4 children now before I'm full up." The enormous crocodile crept around the edge around town, taking great care not to be seen. He came to a place where they were getting ready to have a fair. There were slides and swings and Dublin cars, people selling popcorn and candy floors. There was also a big roundabout. The roundabout was a marvelous wooden creature for the children to ride on. There were white horses, lions and tigers and mermaids and with fishes' tails and fearsome dragons with red tongues sticking out of their mouths. "Now for clever trick number 3, said the enormous crocodile, licking his lips. When no one was looking, he crept up on the roundabout and put himself behind the lion and the fearsome dragon. He sat up a bit like a bad legs, and he kept very still. He looked exactly like a wooden crocodile on the roundabout. Soon there were all sorts of children came flocking onto the fair. Some of them ran towards the roundabout. They got very excited. "I'm going to ride on the dragon," cried one. "I'm going to ride on the lovely red horse," cried another. "I'm going on a lion," cried the third one. And one little girl, whose name was Jill. "I'm going to ride on that funny old wooden crocodile." The enormous crocodile kept very still, but he could still see the girl coming towards him. "Yum, yum, yum," he thought. "I'll gallop her easy in one gallop." Suddenly there was a swish and swoosh, and something came swishing and swooshing out of the sky. It was Rolly-Polly Bird. He flew around the roundabout, singing, "Look out, Jill! Look out! Look out! Don't ride on that crocodile!" Jill stopped and looked down. "That's not a wooden crocodile," said Rolly-Polly Bird. "It's a real one, the enormous crocodile from the river. He wants to eat you up." Jill turned and ran. So did the other children. Even the man who was working the roundabout jumped off and ran away as fast as he could. The enormous crocodile cursed the Rolly-Polly Bird and waddled back into the bushes to hide. "I'm so hungry now," he said to himself. "I could eat 6 children before I'm full up." Just outside the town, there was a pretty little field and trees and bushes all around it. It was called the picnic place. There were several wooden tables and long benches, and people were allowed to go there and have a picnic at any time. The enormous crocodile crept over to the picnic place. There was no one in sight. "Now for clever trick number 4, he whispered to himself. He picked a lovely bunch of flowers and arranged them on the tables. From the same table, he took away one of the benches and hid it under the bushes. He put himself at the place where the bench had been, tucking his head under his chest, and by twisting his tail out of sight, he made himself look much like a wooden bench with 4 legs. Soon, 2 boys and 2 girls came along carrying baskets of food. They were all from one family, and their mother had said they could go out and have a picnic together. "Which table shall we sit at?" said one. "Let's take the table with the lovely flowers on it," said another. The enormous crocodile kept quiet as a mouse. "I shall eat them all," he said to himself. "They will come and sit on my back, and I will swirl my head around quickly, and after that it will be squish, clump, gallop." Suddenly, there was a big, deep voice from the jungle shouting, "Stand back, children! Stand back! Stand back!" The children stopped and stared at the place where the voice was coming. Then, with a crashing of branches, Trunky the elephant came rushing out of the jungle. "That's not the bench you are going to sit on," he bellowed. "That's an enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you up." Trunky trotted over to the spot where the enormous crocodile was standing. As quick as a flash, he wrapped his trunk around the crocodile's tail and hoisted him up into the air. "Hey, let me go!" yelled the enormous crocodile. He was now dangling upside down. "No," Trunky said, "I will not let you go. We've had quite enough of your clever tricks." Trunky began to swing the crocodile round and round in the air. At first he swung slowly. Then he swung him faster and faster and faster and faster still. Soon the enormous crocodile was as a blurry circle going round and round around Trunky's head. Suddenly, Trunky let go of the crocodile's tail. The crocodile went shooting high up into the air like a huge green rocket. And up he went higher and higher, faster and faster. He was going so fast that soon Earth was a teeny dot miles below. He whizzed on and on. He whizzed far into space. He whizzed past the moon. He whizzed past the stars and planets, until at last, with the most tremendous bang, the enormous crocodile crashed headfirst into the hot, hot sun, and he was sizzled out like a sausage. Serves him right. Bye-bye. This is our end of our story, Roald Dahl, the enormous crocodile.